Hey, welcome to Mike's Trains. I'm a little late in my video this week. It was a very busy last few days, so I hadn't had a chance to actually get anything put up for a video. But here I am. I'm a little late, and here's what I have for you. I got all of this working as of now. The turntable is in. There's a locomotive in a bay in the roundhouse, as you can see. So you can also, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I actually numbered all of the stalls in the roundhouse. There. Okay, so I have numbers on all of the bays for the machine shop all the way through the roundhouse. And those correspond with the programming I did on my track work and on the DCC stuff. And I also numbered those 3 tracks over here. And I have numbers that I made as well for the 2 approach tracks in here. So as we're looking at it here, I have 12 tracks in total. And right now the locomotive is in bay number 6 of the roundhouse, and the bridge on the turntable is right now on track 11, lined up with track 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that turntable and I'm going to turn it to the locomotive, and there we go. So we'll bring that over to the locomotive, and yes, it's a little slow moving, but that's how it works. And now we'll take the locomotive and drive it right onto the turntable. Now we'll take the turntable and bring it back over to the other track. Now I'm doing it this way just because I want to show you something real quick. The programming allows me to do a head end and a tail end. So now I'm bringing the head end over to this other track over here. Now, I also have set up the tail ends, so I can flip this all the way around. So we'll flip that right around so that the locomotive is coming off the table forward instead of backwards. And it stopped, and then we can drive this right off the turntable and into the train yard. And then we're into our yard, and we're accessing the ladders of where the station is going to be. So that's the update that I have for you. All the tracks are working, everything is in place. The only things left to do at this point are some small things in functionality. Is I have these ground throws right here. These ground throws, let's see, I'll show you one I have painted. These are from old. I'm reusing my old ones, and what I have, let's see if I can get just focus here to see what's going on. So these ground throws right here, so these have to, I'm putting these on all the turnouts, and these are only going to be temporary. Eventually I'm going to change everything over to switch motors, and I'm going to make a control panel for this whole thing. But in the meantime, what I have is I painted one side of this ground throw green, and when I flip it over, the other side is red. So what'll happen is when the turnout is set as a pass-through, straight pass-through, it'll be set to the green side, like this. and then when it's on the divergent, when it's going through the turnout side, you'll flip this, it'll turn red, and that says that the turnout is thrown. Very simple. So these will get put in temporarily until I can afford to get all the motors and things like that put in. So that's the idea with those. I kind of like the idea. It keeps it so you know where everything is set to and what's going on at a glance. So that's the only thing left, and then we're ready to start scenery and start getting this thing to look like something back here. So all of this needs to be all built with scenery. I have a fueling station I'm going to add in over here on this track. On this track right here, I'd like to get a fueling station, sanding station put in over there. You know, obviously I have to build the built-up section here of road where the buildings are going to be up higher, because this whole area is lower than where the buildings are going to be. I mean, we talked about this in earlier videos, and we're finally up to the point where we can build all that and start getting everything into place. So let's take this guy back in here. And then let's move him, I don't know, let's take one more bay. Let's try bay number 3. And we'll put him into bay number 3, and that is that. So maybe the other thing I'll show you is everything is controlled off of this. The whole turntable is controlled from here. It comes with this controller, but this is only used to program it. It's the only time you use this. Velcro down here, but the only time you use this is to program the turntable. It's not used for anything else after that. So once I get all of this, this is where the control panel is going to go, and I will do a video for that once I get to it, but that's going to be a while out yet. So everything controls off of this, which is awesome. I was a little nervous with it because my previous setup was set up for DC only, and that used this control panel. We obviously didn't have this as DC, but I really like using this with the turntable. It makes it much more convenient. Everything's right in place. The only thing that I have that I didn't have before is I have a list, and I'm going to make a much better list of things here. These are all my stop programs. So when you're looking at this, you have the head end right here, and these are all the DCC addresses for each of the stops. And then I have the same thing on the tail end. So I have a column for track number 1 through 12. Okay, and these are the corresponding DCC addresses to make it go there. So it's very simple, and these are the tail end here, track 1 through 12, and the corresponding address. So it's just a matter of programming, and you know, once you have all that in there, so we'll go to track number, we're going to move this over to one of the outside storage tracks. So that would be track number 8. So we're going to go select accessory, 241, enter, and then it's going to ask me on or off. We want it on, so 1, and then the turntable at the same time now is moving over to track number 8 on the head end. And that's it. And then I can drive the locomotive on or off or wherever I'm going from there. So that's the idea. I love it. I think it's the best thing ever. I like it better working on DCC as opposed to DC. So if you have a chance to do one of these, please do. I mean, don't hesitate. They're really good, and they're not that difficult to program. It just takes time because the turntable moves so slowly, and you have to program each and every stop for each end. So it can take a while, especially if you have a lot of tracks. I mean, I have only 12 here, which is kind of a lot, but kind of not really. So it takes time. It took me probably an hour and a half maybe, I think, you know, once everything got going, to get all of those stops programmed in. And okay, so I think this is going to be the end of this series. This series was all in an attempt to tear down my old train station and yard and put in a new one, and I think we've accomplished that. Everything's in, everything's working. So this series is going to be ending now, and I think we're going to start a new series. I'm going to take this and I'm going to start a brand new series on doing the scenery for all this and getting the train station built up in here and getting, you know, all of that so that it actually looks like what I want it to look like. So I hope you enjoyed this series, and I hope to see you more on the next series. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, hit that little red button down below the video that says subscribe. I'd love to have you watching my videos. Hopefully I can help more people, you know, learn how to do some of this stuff. So until next time, happy modeling, and we'll see you later.